What is happening? I'm N64 Josh. I got Johnny Bo. What's going on?
What's up? How's it going?
We got Crawler. What's happening?
Hey, how's it going? Crawler coming at you.
And we are doing these news segments. We talked all about the Nintendo Switch Online new pricing plan over on Johnny's channel. So there'll be a link to that video in the description. You can go check that out. Make sure to drop a sub and a like and a comment. Even if you don't agree with us, we want to know your thoughts. All right.
That one's a little spicy. It's a little spicy.
Yeah, we were positive when we should have been negative. We think. But,
I know.
we're gonna talk about the Animal Crossing Direct right now. We're gonna try to keep this short, and these are gonna be something that happen on the regular. We want to start doing some just 10-minute news segments. Sometimes they'll be together. Sometimes they'll be solo. Some may be over on John's channel. Some might be right here. So we want to let you guys know where you can find them, where you can check them out. And of course, we want to hear from you guys. If you enjoy these, let us know in the comments. So Animal Crossing Direct, a lot of people very, very excited about this. The first comment on the YouTube video here from Nintendo says, "This is what I've wanted from the beginning. Thank you." 172,000 thumbs up on this one. Not even 5,000 dislikes, unlike the last video. And 3.3 million views on this. So Animal Crossing's big. It's probably one of the games that has the biggest attach rate to Nintendo Switch Online, which is why we're going to see DLC included with Nintendo Switch Online. And we're looking at Brewster's right now. So, Crawler, I do want to start with you because you don't have the most attachment to this series, right?
Correct.
What did you think when you saw this Direct?
I'm glad they let the ball and chain off of Isabel, and she's able to freely roam.
Not freely. She can only go.
Okay, she can only go to get a cup of coffee. That's it. But I mean, yeah, it seems like a better way to incorporate more characters that come to the island, just in a better, more informal, that you're not having to buy something from them, I guess, kind of setting. So does Brewster's bring about different communication with those characters at all, or is it just strictly just to be there and talk to them?
In past games, you actually work the coffee shop counter and give them their drinks. So
I don't think that's the case here. It looks like it's just
hanging out.
Time. Yeah,
this is what I'm excited about, getting sung to by Cap'n.
Oh yeah, for sure. There was the Amiibo phone that they showed in Brewster's though, which looks like you could bring in more characters, which is I feel like it's very similar to Harv's Island, where it's you can just bring in the characters you want. So, John, you've been a fan of this series for a while, I assume. You looking forward to this DLC?
I'm looking forward to it. A lot of it is stuff that we've seen in the past. So Brewster's we've seen in the past, Cap'n we've seen in the past, which was a little bit different. What I'm excited about is Harv's Island, where they're going to have all of the merchants.
Yeah.
That only show up randomly on your island. So I'm hoping we don't have to, if you want to buy something from Kix, you could just go there and get it. Hopefully you could get artwork.
Was that red?
You want.
Oh,
yeah, it is red. Hopefully red's there all the time. I think Josh, you actually called this on the podcast. You were like, they should build out Harv's Island and allow all of the merchants to be there. This is probably
honestly,
the most
he wanted a cruise ship where everybody was there.
Yeah.
But
this is close enough. That's in the next up. Tortimer is still alive. But yeah, this part is exciting. The farming and cooking is exciting as well.
Mm-hmm.
For the free update, it's if it was only this content, I probably would play it for 5 minutes and then never play it again. But the other DLC that we'll talk about later, I'll probably dive into a little bit more.
This stuff's kind of goofy, right? The group stretching that we're seeing on screen right now,
how do you stretch with a controller? That's what I want to know.
Well, you got to have your.
No, they said you can do it Wiimote or just Pro Controller, I think. So
It's got motion,
Well,
so
it
just
has,
hold it above your
gyro
head.
and motion in there.
You know, you're good to go. Like
I said that I needed to do this because I don't move like at all. I'm just at my desk constantly and I don't move.
like a slug. So, but yeah, this. I mean, if you look, some of the animals were totally off. They were not in sync. I don't know. Like that's hilarious. So, but I mean, so many cool additions. The ordinances, like a lot of things that were in past games that, yeah, I mean, a lot of people say, oh, it should have been, but I think they even talk about this. I don't know if they talk about it in the direct, or I saw some tweets or something, but like, imagine getting Animal Crossing for Christmas this year.
There's
and the DLC.
A lot.
Like, I feel like they did a great job of like spacing stuff out and allowing us to experience so much of the new stuff. And now they're bringing in the old stuff. Yeah. For those of us that went hardcore, which was most of us because of the current state of the world, right? Like we were all stuck in lockdown. Animal Crossing became our second home, our second life. And this time around, we're getting a little more back to normal. There's still quite a few people that are still, we're not back to normal yet, but we're going to have a lot to do in this game. I can see myself streaming some of this again and touring people's islands again. Like I used to do. We do Animal Crossing cribs where I go and visit people's islands and see all the cool stuff that they've made. And there's going to be so much more now. That what they've really done with a lot of this stuff is unlocked so much more creativity. We used to have to use like a pizza design and a hat to make it look like we had pizzas in the game. Mm-hmm. Now we can make pizzas. I think they had one in a cast iron skillet as well. But there's pizzas right there, and just chow down. Now be careful eating your pizza and then taking your shovel out. Rocks, yeah, you don't break your rock garden. You know, be careful. So
well, and this now like added decorating stuff. You can hang stuff from the ceilings, and then later on, I'm not sure if it was shown off in the DLC or the paid DLC, or if it was in this where you're able to scoot in between furniture that's tucked up closer to each other now, which I know that was one of your biggest headaches when you were designing your own Brewsters outside.
Yep.
On your island, you were struggling with that. So, and that's just an aesthetic and functionality, quality of life thing. That's nice.
Yeah, it's very, very cool because it was like, if you want this to function, you can't have it set up how you would really want it. Now you can, you can utilize space better and customize so many things. Jen, as soon as she saw white fencing, was like, finally white fencing, you know, like not even something it's on my radar or even thought about. That's one of the things she's excited about. Going first person to take photos. Like,
and then you can be in it.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff's super cool. That's going to give the opportunity for like, we could possibly do, if you have people on your island and you go into that mode, you could film little shows at that point. Yeah. Like you could start doing different camera angles. Like again, way more creativity. I'm thinking red versus blue for those of you that are familiar with the Machinima, right? Like we could now make some killer Machinima. We could have a cameraman for our podcast if we want to record in AC. So,
well, and it just changes how you saw that earlier with like the going up to one of the villagers' houses. You see it at a new angle, and it looks better.
It really does. And I remember talking about wanting to see Animal Crossing in first person. But the other thing I'm wondering about, are you going to be able to walk up to a house and then turn around and see the backside of some of these buildings now that we've never seen before? Like, did they have to go in and
try it out?
Your Switch might melt.
the palm trees that had no textures on the backside because they didn't want to waste assets now have to now have assets. You know, like it. I just feel like they've added a lot of cool stuff. It seems like the community is very excited. I'm really looking forward to it personally. Like I've been wanting reasons to jump back into this game. I hope, like, I love that within the new DLC, everything's not tied to bells so that we can't, the amount of bells that we've all received and that we all have
played in the market.
Like, yeah, it just like going to Harv's Island right now, I'll have everything paid for in the first day. Like there's no doubt. But if we played this the way it was designed, they want you to work for those bells. They want you to, trade on the stock market, do that kind of stuff so that it's not happening immediately. If it took a handful of days, and maybe it will, maybe they're like, yo, you finished this one, but it doesn't matter. This one's not going to be ready till the next day, right? They're not all going to show up.
And then you just mess with the clock.
And then you just time travel. Wow, you monster. You monster. So, but yeah, tons of great additions. I'm really looking forward to it. Any final thoughts, John, before we wrap this thing up?
So we didn't talk too much about the Happy Home Paradise, but I mean, I played Happy Home Designer on 3DS, and that was actually pretty fun. I enjoy designing houses as opposed to outside. Like it's more confined. I'm not that creative out in the open. But if I could design a house for these villagers, it's
you can make the rooms bigger now too, in the paid DLC.
Yeah, and you can add walls. Like,
yeah, the partitions, the pillars, like what they're showing right here. Like this is going to add so much more character to the game. And from the looks of it, we're going to be able to do some of this on the outside as well. I don't know if we can do I don't know if it's been confirmed that we can do the outside decorating on our main island like you can on the Paradise Island here. But I do hope that's the case. I know Crawler was hoping for something like that. Crawler, any final thoughts before we wrap this thing up?
I mean, a decent amount of stuff that I'm not super familiar with coming with that free update, and then some of the stuff that what we had talked about wanting to see from the direct coming in the paid DLC, which is going to be part of the expansion pack. That we are all happy to pay for because the internet is not. But honestly, I haven't gone to my island in a while. I think they do a better job of not shaming you as bad as they had in the past with this game. But this is going to get me back into it, and it seems like a decent amount of content and something to do, something to kill the time until Halo comes out.
The one thing that, as of right now, they haven't shown anything, is mini games, and like with Tortimer or with Cap'n, right? It would have been cool to find out we had some hide and seek, some collectathons, something that we could go and do as a group. Like they give us the ability to have 8 people hanging out. Like it would be cool if we had some other activities. There is, according to IGN, Nintendo said they have no further plans for any DLC going forward with this game. Would they admit to it?
Until they see how much this sells. That's the...
Yeah, and if next year rolls around and they're like, hey, continue your Animal Crossing expansion with the cruise ship, I'm all in.
It's already in the game. They just have to unlock it.
You gotta flip the switch. You gotta flip the switch.
Right. So yeah, I mean, hopefully we do see some kind of mini games, because I just think it would be fun to be able to do activities with the community, and the people get creative. We've already done it. We've already played hide and seek. We've already come up with some mini games ourselves. But I just love that this Animal Crossing now all of a sudden has gone from like taking a piece of Minecraft and kind of adding it to the game, then taking some like Stardew Valley Harvest Moon vibes with gardening, and then now a Sims element where you're creating other people's houses and really doing a lot of decorating. And I mean, we just saw a whole bunch of them sitting in a restaurant. Like they're kind of just leaning into this. Like this is just a relaxing a simulation at this point.
And they found a way to give people seasons all throughout the year at different by traveling to Captain's Island. And
I wonder if that means you'll be able to catch bugs like those.
I think that's the whole point of it. Yeah.
Which is great. I mean, it keeps people from time traveling, which I think is one of the things they want to do. So let us know in the comments what you think of the Animal Crossing DLC. Is it too little, too late for you? Are you going to jump back in? Let us know your thoughts on Nintendo Switch Online and the new price plan. What do you think about that? Go check out our video over on Johnny's channel, youtube.com/JohnnyBo. If it's not that, there will be a link in the description below.
It's the Johnny Bo.
The Johnny Bo. There you go.
Because there's only one of me, and also I couldn't figure out how to make my Google name not have a first name.
Well, there you go. So if you guys enjoy this, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're going to be doing lots more of these bite-size news and or opinion pieces. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye now.